my dad like crossed the border.
Wow.
Yeah, like crossed the river.
Walked across.
Swam
across the river.
And I was like, The Voice, X Factor. And I was like, well, One Direction will be at X Factor. I don't know if they'll be at The Voice, so let me audition for X Factor.
They should figure that out on their own. I'm not going to say it right now.
And I think they should know so they know how to work better together.
I think that they should just all figure out you.
Okay,
Which one?
It took a little interrogation.
All time.
Camila?
Release solo music in the group. So now I can do it musically. But yeah, but I was always able to, you know, speak my mind. So yeah, that wasn't one of the reasons. The reason was just that I wanted to be able to express myself creatively, like in any way.
Apologizing after some of her Tumblr posts from 2012 resurfaced.
We saw like on Twitter and stuff, you guys saying stuff about the way we were kissing and how it looks weird, like we kiss like fish.
Yeah.
And
really hurt our feelings.
When I started going to the beach and there was like a million fucking paparazzi there, and then I saw the pictures like the day after, and I don't even look at what people really say about me on purpose, but sometimes I just stumble upon it. And it takes me like therapy. I have to like book a therapy session and talk about it because I feel so insecure.
So as I mentioned, Camila is shutting down accusations that one of her dancers had performed in blackface. According to the singer, this performer was supposed to be portraying a white man with a terrible spray tan.
Because I was on a singing competition show.
Did you know?
I didn't know.
Did you know?
There's no way to prove that, by the way, so how do we know you were even on it?
I don't know if you've heard of something called the internet, Abuelo Blake. Hey guys, I'm Camila Cabello.
Now am I wrong?
Hey guys, so this month we are talking about Camila Cabello, and I don't have anything of hers right now, but I do have Flaming Hot Cheetos, and I know she's Latina and Mexicans. I know they love hot things. I'm so sorry. So here we are. Anyway, so I'm not going to talk about everything, but a lot of things we are going to talk about. First off, I do love Camila, so I'm going to try not to be biased whatsoever. And to give you a recap of why I'm doing this, it's just so people can like know the truth about celebrities and stuff, because they get so much hate for the most dumbest reasons. So I'm like, oh, why not do this? So if you don't know, I'm going to talk about the topics of scandals and allegations and all these other things, and I'm going to talk about my theories and my opinions, and at the end of the video I'll come to a conclusion if they really are a bad person or they are not, and the media just hypes everything up. Also, I have my laptop right here so that it helps me remember dates, because I have a lot of things going on my mind and I just forget very easily. So that's why I have my laptop to help me like remember things. So that's why I keep looking over here if you see me doing that. And I don't think there's any trigger warning. Maybe, but like I don't think there's any trigger warning.
My voice sounds like a man. You're a man? No, my voice. No! Oh my god! No. Her voice sounds like a man.
So of course we gotta talk about her childhood / background, which is very interesting, and I'm very sorry if I mispronounce words. Okay. Carla Camila Cabello Esrael was born on March 3rd, 1997. She is 25 currently. She's also a Pisces, just letting you know that. And she was born in Havana, Cuba, but was raised in Cojamar, which is east of Havana. Her dad, Alejandro Cabello, is Mexican and lives in Mexico City, then moved to Cuba, where he met Senua Esrael, who is Camila's mother. As a child, Camila would always go back and forth to Cuba, to Mexico all the time when she was a child. In 2005, she was in Mexico with her mom and also her dad, but her and her mom crossed the border to go to Disney World, which is what they told Camila, that she was going to Disney World. And they had little to no money. They just had like the clothes on their backs. Camila, she said that she had like a little like diary, and she had her Monster Inc. doll. So they had anything really, and they spoke no English. 18 months later, her dad crossed the border, but in Cuba, so he swam, which is like dangerous, by the way. It's like not good, but he risked everything for his family. I love that. I love how her parents just did everything they can for Camila to have a better life, and I love that so much. So from forward on, she was raised and grew up in Miami, Florida, and in 2007 she became a sister to her younger sister Sophia, who is currently 15 years old. In 2008, Camila got her American citizenship. Now Sophia doesn't need one because she's born in America, so she doesn't need one, but Camila needs one.
Go on and try to tear me down. I will be rising from the ground like a skyscraper. Oh, like a skyscraper.
July of 2012, Camila auditioned to be on the X Factor. And what's interesting is that before she auditioned, she was crying backstage because she was late to her audition, and the producers or whoever told her that she could not audition. Luckily, Simon Cowell was backstage, saw Camila crying, went up to her, asked her what was wrong, and she told him what was wrong. And he pulled some strings, and he got her a spot to audition to be on the show. So of course she got through, but later on she got eliminated. But Simon believed in her talent so much that he placed her in an all-girl group where she can compete now as a group category. So a fact is that she was going to audition to be on The Voice, but she auditioned for the X Factor instead because she wanted to meet One Direction, and she was in love with Harry Styles. Even though One Direction was on the X Factor UK, she just knew that they were going to perform, and she was right. They did perform on the second week of the live shows. On July 27th, 2012, Simon put Camila, Lauren, Ali, Normani, and Dinah in a group together. They first called the band Lilas, then they changed it to 1432, and finally they permanently changed it to Fifth Harmony with the help of their fans. They finished in 3rd place and was signed to Simon's record label Psycho Music with a joint deal with Epic Records. They released their EP Better Together on October 18th, 2013. On January 30th, 2015, they released their debut album, Reflection. Their second album, 727, was released on May 27th, 2016, and was number 4 on Billboard 200. They put out their last album, Fifth Harmony, without Camila, on August 25th, 2017. On March 19th, 2018, Fifth Harmony announced that they're going on a hiatus, and they all want to focus on their solo career. So I want to talk about more is just the band in general, and it was like a mess. Like, I love the band, I love their songs, but it was a mess. I just be honest. Like, whoever styled them, like did their dances, whatever, needs to get fired. Like, oh my gosh, they were barely even like coordinated on their outfits, like on award shows and stuff and red carpets. Like, sometimes they were, but mainly they were not. It was like someone always gotta stick out, you know? Everybody be like wearing blue and this person be wearing like white, you know? And so it's like someone's always sticking out. It just wasn't that put together. It was like rushed, I guess you can say. Just for the record, I think they're better off being solo artists because being together was like not it, really. I mean, there's some parts that were really good and stuff, of course, but just sometimes it just felt like they were competing together in a band. I don't know if that makes sense or not. It just felt like individual. Like, of course, they start off individual and they put in a group, and that's how it seems. You know, like, I don't want to like compare, but like with Little Mix, it seemed that they started off as a band. You know what I mean? Instead of solo artists. And that's how it was, really. But with Fifth Harmony, it just started off like individually. You know, like they're in a band, but like individually. That makes sense to me.
Those of you watching at home, hi Fifth Harmony.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh.
December of 2016, Fifth Harmony announced that Camila was leaving the band. So Camila, she slammed the girls for this because they were accusing her of leaving and they didn't talk to her about it. And I understand Camila's frustration because it's like if she was leaving, she didn't want someone else telling her fans that, or like the world that. She wanted to be the first one to talk about it and say it. In 2017, at the VMAs, Fifth Harmony shaded Camila. I'm not sure if you remember this or you don't know this. I'm not sure if they were the one that had the idea of doing that or someone else did. But what happened was it started off as like all five of them like on stage, and then the one in the middle like just like fell back like very brutally. And I watched that when it came on, and I didn't realize it at first, and then later on it clicked and I was like, did they just shade it Camila? So there's that. And then Camila talked about it in the New York Times, and this is what she said about it.
It definitely hurt my feelings. I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't prepared for it, especially because at that point I moved on from it. I was just like, what? Why? I have to make space for the good stuff that happened in my life. I don't like holding on to the past, especially when it's stuff that, in my opinion, is just petty.
So obviously it like hurt her feelings and stuff, and she thought that it was like very petty of them to do that to her. And I think that's when like people were on Camila's side, and it was like, oh, like she was the better one anyway, and blah blah blah, and you're just saying all these things because they just like, why did Fifth Harmony just did that to Camila? And also like people were finding these videos of them, and people saw how mean they like Fifth Harmony was to Camila. And you know, there's like this one video where Camila seemed really hurt because like she was singing by herself and stuff like that, and she was very upset. She's like, you guys left me, like I was singing all by myself, whatever, blah, blah. Like she was so upset, and I was like, oh my gosh, she was super upset. And like, oh, I didn't even know the words, like I didn't even know. And so I guess something happened, but there's these videos that come up, and they saw how like mean they were to Camila, or it seems that way. And so they're like, oh, I don't even like Fifth Harmony anymore because I like Fifth Harmony because I have Camila, but now Camila left, I don't like the band anymore. And I think Fifth Harmony, like the girls knew that a lot. I just feel like they felt left out. They were hurt that she left and that she could leave and not them. It's a lot of emotions, maybe a little bit of jealousy happening. But I feel like they were always felt left out because like back in X Factor, Demi said that one of them shined bright that night, like really stood out, and Khloe Kardashian was asking her like, oh, who you know shine, like, you know, and Demi didn't want to like, you know, do that, but Khloe kept pushing her, and Demi said, you, pointing at Camila. And I feel like that definitely felt like hurt from the girls. Like, oh, you know. And for the record, I was more of a Lauren Alley girl back then. So I love all of them, but I was more of a Lauren girl and like Alley. So yeah, just put that out there. So Camila, she was already making music with other artists when she was in Fifth Harmony. She collaborated with Shawn Mendes, singing I Know You Did Last Summer, which was released on November 18th, 2015. Then she did a song with Machine Gun Kelly, singing Bad Things, which was released on October 14th, 2016. Her first solo song was Crying in the Club, which was released on May 19th, 2017. Another song she made was OMG featuring Quavo, which was released on August 3rd, 2017. The song that blew her up and got her first #1 hit, and is her most popular song so far, is Havana featuring Young Thug. It also came out on August 3rd of 2017, and it has almost 2 billion views on YouTube. The music video came out on October 24th, 2017, and right now it has over 1 billion views. She also did other versions of the song. She did a remix version with Daddy Yankee. She has a solo version, and just a lot of versions she made of the song. Her first album, Camila, was released on January 12th, 2018, and debuted at #1 on the Billboard's 200 charts. Her second album, Romance, was released on December 6th, 2019, and debuted at #1 in Canada and #3 in the US. Her recent album, Familia, was released this year on April 8th. The album peaked at #10 in the US Billboard charts and #6 in Canada. Now for me, Familia is highly underrated, my favorite album so far. And I just feel like, I think all of her albums are underrated, but Familia, to me, is just underrated because it's just so good.
Camila's past has officially come back to haunt her. We've seen this happen before as tweets or past behavior resurface with many celebs, so we're just gonna take this as yet another learning lesson that what happens on the internet definitely stays on the internet and will probably...
December of 2019, someone found Camila's old Tumblr account where she has old tweets of her making racist jokes and memes and retweeting memes that she finds, and also tweeting the N-word when she was about 14, 15 years old. When people found this out, they were mad at Camila. They were upset with Camila, and Camila apologized and said this.
I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart. When I was younger, I used language that I'm deeply ashamed of and will regret forever. I was uneducated and ignorant, and once I became aware of the history and the weight and the truth meaning behind this horrible and hurtful language, I was deeply embarrassed I ever used it. I apologized then, I apologize again now. I would never intentionally hurt anyone, and I regret it from the bottom of my heart. As much as I wish I could, I can't go back in time and change things I said in the past. But once you know better, you do better, and that's all I can do. I'm 22 now. I'm an adult, and I've grown and learned and am conscious and aware of the history and the pain it carries in a way I wasn't before. Those mistakes don't represent the person I am or person I've ever been. I've only sinned and have ever stood for love and inclusivity, and my heart has never, even then, had any ounce of hate or divisiveness. The truth is, I was embarrassingly ignorant and unaware. I used my platform to speak out about injustice and inequality, and I continue doing that. I can't say enough how deeply sorry and ashamed I feel, and I apologize again from the bottom of my heart.
When this came out, people want to know what Normani thought about this, and this is what she said about it.
I want to be very clear about what I'm going to say on this uncomfortable subject, and figured it would be best to write out my thoughts to avoid being misconstrued as I have been in the past. I struggle with talking about this because I don't want to be part of my narrative, but I'm a black woman who's part of an entire generation that's a similar story. It was devastating that this came from a place that was supposed to be a safe haven and a sisterhood, because I knew that if the tables would turn, I would defend each of them in a single heartbeat. It took her days to acknowledge what I was dealing with online, and then years for her to take responsibility for the offensive tweets that was recently resurfaced. Whether or not it was her attention, this made me feel like I was second to the relationship that she had with her fans. I really hope that an important lesson was learned in this. Hope there's a genuine understanding about why this was absolutely unacceptable. Have spoken within my heart and pray this is transparent enough that I never have to speak on it again. To my brown men and women, we are like no other. Our power lies within our culture.
So Camila's fans, they were bullying Normani and just saying these nasty, horrible things to her. And Normani was hurt that it took Camila days to talk about it and like speak up about it and defend Normani. Now for me, I just feel like why it took Camila days, and it's like a theory of mine, is that I don't think she knew what to say or how to say it, because at this point people are just looking at what Camila's saying and what she's tweeting and whatnot. So she's like under a microscope and everyone's just looking down upon her, waiting for her to like mess up and like to hate on her more. And so I think that's why it took her days. Another theory is that maybe she didn't see it, or I don't know, I just feel like she just didn't know what to say or how to say it. Normani also said it took Camila years to own up what she did when she was 14, 15 years old. And my theory is that I think Camila just forgot that those tweets were there. I don't think she really realized that she made those tweets now that she's older. I think she's forgot all about it and stuff. So I don't think she even realized that she even made those tweets. For me, I think Normani was more hurt that Camila put her second to her fans. Because as I said before, it did take Camila days to talk about her fans bullying Normani. So I think Normani was hurt that it took Camila just a long time to talk about it, when Normani would have defended Camila and the other girls very quickly. And Normani said that she hoped that a lesson was learned here and that Camila knew what she did was wrong and that people are capable of changing. So I think Normani did forgive Camila for what happened, because she knew that people are capable of changing, and those tweets were when Camila was 14, 15 years old, and back in 2019 she was like in her 20s. So I think she learned her lesson from this. Like I said before, I think Normani was more hurt that Camila just put her second, and Normani thought that they were sisters or like sisters, and Normani was very hurt that Camila did not even talk about this for days. Also, people were saying that Camila was being racist towards Normani, and Camila denied that, which I think confused people, because people were saying, oh, she denied that she said those things when she was 14, 15 years old, but she didn't deny what she did. She denied that she was being racist towards Normani, because she wasn't. So I'm not trying to justify anything for her. Yes, I know what she did was very wrong and very bad, and she understood that and knew that. But she's not from America. You're probably thinking, why did you bring that up? And I'll have a point in a minute. I'll talk about that and actually have an example I'm going to use in a second. But a lot of non-Americans know about America's history, like barely know anything from it or nothing at all. And so they just don't understand that the N-word at the time, they know at the time the N-word was offensive towards Black people, especially in America. So they just, not a lot of non-Americans know about that back then. And you're probably thinking, why I bring that up? And it's because there's this girl who is not from America, and she speaks little to no English. her English is like broken, but she's a TikTok star. And before TikTok, there was Musical.ly, and she had a Musical.ly account, and she would always lip sing these songs, and she would lip sing the N-word. At the time, no one cared, but now people cared, and they called her out for it. And she apologized and said that she didn't know, she's not from America, and now she's more awake, I guess, or woke, if you want to call her that, or more aware. Yes, that's what I'm saying. She's more aware now. And so basically, my reasoning is that people that say the N-word is not from America because they don't know about America's history and what has happened. So I'm not saying don't blame Camila, like Camila gets upset. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying like Camila did not know because she's not from America and English is not her first language. So that's what I want to say, but I'm just saying it's so bad that she did that. I'm just saying give her a little break. She's not from America. She doesn't know history of America. She does now. She's educated now, but back then she didn't know anything about American history. Yes, she was in school, but I don't think she fully understood it. Also, like that year of 2019, everyone was being called out, not just Camila, but everyone was being called out. Jeffree Star, Jane Dawson, James Charles, Tati, Ariana Grande, Nikita Dragon, like everyone was being called out. And I think it's because that woman that discovered the word blackfishing, I think after that everyone was after everyone, and they're calling people racist, calling, you know, it's like what, you know, and they're calling Ariana racist, calling Camila racist, and it's like crazy. Jane Dawson, like everyone was being called out. So it wasn't just Camila, it was like everyone really. So I guess everyone that year was woke or starting to be woke. I don't know. Yeah. One more thing I want to talk about is that when people think of Camila, they think of her as a racist person. And I think people use the word racist very loosely. Because for me, an actual racist person is someone that doesn't like a group of people because of the color of their skin, and I'm pretty sure that's not Camila. And people that actually are racist has done way worse than what Camila has done. I think Camila was just being very ignorant and uneducated, but I don't think she was being a racist. I think she was being stereotypical, but not a racist person. And there's people that are way worse than Camila, like way worse than Camila, like brutal. So compared to people that actually are racist, compared to Camila, no. For me, I don't think she's a racist person, to me. And like, I feel like people keep bringing up the past, and it's like, what do you want to do? You know what I mean? You can't change the past, you know, only grow from it and learn from it, which I'm pretty sure she has done really well. And I don't know what you want from her. You know, she's changed, she has grown up, so I mean, her mindset was different back then compared to now, and she has changed. People are capable of changing, okay? Just because you're not doesn't mean that she is, you know. So give her a break, okay? I think it's ridiculous at this point. I know this came out in 2019, so it's still kind of new, but she made those tweets when she was 15 years old, 14, 15, and we all done stupid things as a child. I've done stupid things when I was 15. Never said this out loud to people besides my friends, but I was actually engaged when I was 15 years old. I mean, I wouldn't consider engaged, but like I was basically engaged for like 3 days, and it was not fake, it was real. It was online though, Don't like it. I regret that. You know, I mean, people that were 15 regrets what they did. You know, I regret what I did when I was 15. And I'm older, I look back on it and I'm like, oh God, I'm done so many stupid things. And being engaged for like 3 days was like one of the worst things I've done. Like I said before, like, we've done things and we look back on it and we regret that and how awful it is, but we learn from it, and that's how we do. We're human, we're not perfect, and we've all done stupid things. Maybe not what Camila did, but we all done stupid things when we were 15, 14 years old, and we look back on it and we regret it. Okay, but we learn from it. That's how we learn, that's how we grow. Okay, we make mistakes, we move on from it, but apparently people can't move on from the past. That's what I've learned about that. People can never move on from the past because they don't want to for some reason. Camila and Shawn Mendes, they started being friends back in 2014. They met backstage at an Austin Mahones concert. They were both opening up for him. And of course, remember, Cabello was in the band. And people would always ship them together, and they would always deny it, like, it's not true. And this song, Senorita, was released on June 21st, 2019, and people were speculating that they were together. And after the music video was released, Camila and her boyfriend that she dated like over a year broke up. July 4th of 2019, they officially started dating, and people were saying that it was a PR stunt and that, you know, it was fake, and especially since the VMA performance, and they were performing Senorita, and people were like, oh, it's fake. And if it was real, Camila was into it, Shawn was into it. And so they were just like hating on the relationship, saying that it was cringy and stuff. And Camila and Shawn made this like joke video, how it hurts their feelings, and say that if people were telling them that they kiss like fish, which I think that's hilarious. And so they were just being stupid and mocking people, what they were saying, and they were just kissing very awkwardly. Even though it's like a joke video, still I just find it very like cringy and awkward. I'm like, ooh, I don't know, it makes me like sugar. But there's always saying that it is real, it's real. And not gonna lie, at first I thought it was a PR stunt, then I thought it turned into something real. So I thought it was fake, and then it turned into something real. But after listening to Familia and listening to Shawn Mendes album, I feel like it is real. Like, it was real since the beginning. And they had feelings for each other when they wrote I Know You Did Last Summer, but they didn't know how to like go about it, and it was very awkward, and they were young, and Shawn at the time, he was focusing on his career because he was starting to, you know, get into the singing business and stuff. So they just didn't want to jeopardize anything, and they just didn't know how to like confess their feelings and didn't know anything about it. So it was very awkward for them. So it wasn't like a perfect time either, I guess. Shawn quarantined with Camila's family back in 2020 for 3 months, and they did break up over the summer. Then they got back together, and I know they got a house together. Then they officially broke up in November 17th, 2021, and they both decided to be friends again. So there was no tension, there wasn't anything happened. They just want to be friends again. And I think that's very understandable because they started off as friends, and I feel like if you start off as friends and then you date and you break up, I feel like what's the harm in becoming friends again, because you did start off as friends. I'm sorry, my voice was like out for a second. I'm not sure if you noticed that, but my voice was like gone.
Camila is shutting down people on social media for making comments about her body, and she's not
I've talked this before about body shaming with when I did Ariana, and I hate people that body shame people. No matter how big or how small you are, I hate it, because like, what's the point? Like, why are you doing this? Like, you did this for what? Paparazzis, they would take photographs and videos of Camila at the beach with Shawn, or by herself with her friends, or just out in general in public, and people would shame her, and they would Photoshop her to make her look bigger than what she actually is, and just make this joke out of her. To me, I think that social media has got us all, or most of us, brainwashed into thinking that a normal body is no stretch marks, and you know, you have to be skinny but curvy, and you know what I mean. That just brainwashed a lot of us, and for me, social media is fake. Not to me, but in general, social media is fake. It's not reality. Like, sorry, 90% of what on social media is fake. People are fake. Their bodies are fake. Their face are fake. Everything about them is fake. You know, the pranks are fake. Everything. Social media is not real. Okay, to me, it's not real. It's fake. Like, Camila is reality. Like, her body is reality. That's what a normal body looks like, with the stretch marks and all. And people are so, you know, brainwashed into thinking that a normal body is no stretch marks, no lines, no scars, no, you know, acne, no, you know, your stomach's poking out, whatever. That's what's real, because that's actually what a normal body looks like. And believe it or not, she is skinny. She is skinny. Okay? People think that you have to be skinny like Ariana Grande, or skinny like a model, like Gigi Hadid or whatever. But that's not true all the time. There's different types of skinny, and Camila's skinny. She's like skinny but thick. You know what I mean? And I hate when people just shame her for her body, because that's what you're born with. I'm sorry, you're born with that, and you're shaming how she was born. Makes no sense to me. Like I said before, like, Camila, she is real. Like, her body is real. Everything about her is real. And I hate when people's like, oh, skinny but like curvy, and like, you know, like Kim Kardashian or whatever, you know, like, that's not real. Like, it's Photoshop. Everything on social media is Photoshop. And so it just, I don't know, I don't know. For me, I love Camila's body type. It's similar to my body type, and seeing her makes me so confident in myself and my body. And I've seen other girls saying the exact same thing. I've heard girls saying, oh, she's my body type, I love her so much. Like, you know, that's what I love so much about Camila, is that, you know, she embraces that now. What she said on TikTok, that she doesn't care anymore. She's going to love her body.
Running in the park, minding my own business, trying to be fit, trying to keep it healthy, and I'm wearing a top that shows my belly, and I wasn't tucking it in because I was running and existing like a normal person that doesn't tuck it in all the time. And I was like, damn. But then I reminded myself, being at war with your body is so last season. I am grateful for this body that lets me do what I need to do. We are real women with curves and cellulite and stretch marks and fat, and we gotta own that, baby. Giving him something he can feel.
I just love Camila and like how she embraces her body now, and like, I think she always has embraced her body, but people just kind of shame her and stuff, and I just hate when people do that. Like, I said before, why are you doing this? Like, what's the point in doing that? So I love Camila embracing her body, because it does makes people like me feel really good in their own skin and their own body, and I love Camila for doing that. And like, I just heard about a lot of other female celebrities doing that, and I love that so much, because there's people out there just that don't feel comfortable in their own skin, because there's people on social media photoshopping how they look and making people insecure, And when they see people like Camila out there embracing their body and what it actually looks like, it makes people like me feel really good inside. So before I talk about this topic, I'm going to have some history on blackface and what it is. So long ago, when slavery and after slavery was happening, white actors and actresses, they would paint their face and their body sometimes black, and they would mock black people, humiliate them, make them to a joke, and that's basically the history of it. And they've been doing that for so long. They don't do that anymore, I'm guessing. At least in America, they don't do that. But yeah, so that's a little history of it. So it's when someone paints their face black and they just, you know, mock black people and just make a joke out of them. Last year at the VMAs, Camila was performing Don't Go Yet, and people were noticing that there's this dancer that was behind her who has a very like dark spray tan, and people looked him up and he's this white dancer, and of course people were attacking Camila because of her background and attacking the dancer. And this is what Camila had to say about that.
On my team, try to create a culture of kindness, joy, and love, and can feel that this week. Know this could be possible without the dream team that makes it happen and the fans that continue to support. Hey, so this dude was supposed to be a white man with a terrible spray tan. We purposely tried to pull together a multicultural group of performers. The expectation was not that everyone in the performance needs to be Latin. There are white people, African American people, Latin people, etc. So the point wasn't to try to make everyone look Latin either. There are a lot of people in the performance who are not. The point was to try to make each person look like an over-the-top 80s character, just like the video, including a white dude with a terrible orange spray tan.
Camila was trying to recreate what she sees when she was living in Cuba, and that's how it's supposed to be, you know. And she said that not just him, but there's other dancers that was white that had a very dark spray tan. So it was supposed to be that way because she's recreating this 60s, 80s Latin music vibe type. And so it wasn't supposed to be offensive at all. But of course, Camila's background, everything, people just find something to hate her for. And I wasn't even paying attention to dancers. I was paying attention to Camila, you know, her singing. And I love how she represents all cultures, and yes, I am Latina, hence why I had this I'm not hot Cheeto girl, I'm sorry, I'm not. Okay, I was once upon a time, but I'm not anymore. I had that because my dad bought it for me, but I'm not. Anyway, so, you know, I love when she represents all culture, and I love how she does that very well. And yeah, so surprise, I'm half Latina, half black, half Latina. Here you go. I'm very grateful. But yeah, like I said before, people just look down upon her because of her background, but it's not supposed to be offensive. It's just her recreating her like life, really. And I feel like people don't understand that because they're not, you know, Latina or Latino, so they don't understand the culture of that. So maybe they should learn a thing or two about that. And one more thing, I wouldn't use the word blackface because I just explained what blackface is, and it's more blackfishing. But you know, people just use words but they don't even know what it freaking means.
Yodel, like the
There was definitely a yodel to it. I'm not sure exactly what that was. That sounded like a throat clearing.
I hurt my toe. That's why
The last topic we're talking about is Camila on The Voice. And to me, it's very cool when someone that started off as a singing competition is now judging / coaching a singing competition. I think that's very cool. It's like a circle of life just coming back in a full circle. I love that so freaking much. How, you know, this is very special for her just because she remembers what it's like being, you know, on that other end on the stage. But of course, people didn't like how she's a coach and on The Voice, and they're saying that how she's annoying and that she's always talking about how she's on a singing competition. And for me, I'm like, first off, everyone's annoying. I'm annoying, you're annoying, your family's annoying, your siblings, your neighbor, everyone on this earth is annoying at some point. Okay? Everyone's annoying. Okay? Period. But also, it's like, of course, when they mention it, like, how can you not mention something that you were on to make other contestants feel like you know how they're feeling at that moment, you know, feeling scared, frightened, nervous. You know, she's trying to make a connection with them, saying, I know how it is, and I have some tips, and I can teach you how I got over that. Because she said that she used to be shy and stuff, and now she's like vocally, and you know, people saying that she talks too much, and that's how you do it in the voice. You talk a lot, especially in the blind audition. Like, Blake talks too much. John, Gwen, that's how you play the game. Like, you know, you play dirty. So I don't know. Like I said before, people always trying to find something to hate on Camila for. That's her background. I'm not talking about it anymore. Also, people saying that why she on The Voice, she can't even sing. I'm like, excuse me? What? Like, her voice is like very unique, like, you know, when she's singing. And I love her voice. Like, I don't know what people are talking about. Like, her voice is amazing. Like, have you heard her sing? Like, she's just amazing. Also, people are saying, why would you ask a racist to do The Voice? And for me, I'm like, I've already went through this, so I'm not going to talk about it again, what racist is. And to me, Camila's not a racist person. Coming from a half black person, that matters. I don't see her as a racist person. Like I said before, there's people worse than her. Talk about it already, but I'm just saying, if you think she's still a racist person, that's on you, but to me, she's not. Also, they didn't necessarily ask her to do The Voice. She was advisor for John last season, and she begged or asked John to put in a good word for her because she wants to be on The Voice, and that's how she's on The Voice, because she asked John, and I guess John just like told whoever, and that's how she's on the show now. Also, people are saying, where's Ariana? Where's Kelly? I'm like, for real? Are you serious right now? First off, Ariana, she's doing Wicked. She's in London. She's like in Wicked rehearsal. And Kelly, she's taking a break because she wants to, you know, be around her kids more and taking a break. And, you know, so it's not, I don't know. Like, of course she's gonna come back next season. And I'm pretty sure she is. So, like, calm down. Okay, let other people have their moment. Okay. And talking about like Ariana and Camila, and I love Ariana with all my heart. If you know that, I love her with all my heart. But I feel like Camila is doing a better job than she was. I'm very sorry to say that. Like, I know, don't hate me for it. But like Camila, she's a very competitive person. And her energy is so good, and like she's very energetic and she's funny, and you know, and of course Ariana's all the things too, but I feel like Ariana kept it classy and stuff, and she was like very sweet and stuff, and Camila was like, you know, she was very competitive and she was very like, you know what I mean, like I love Camila's energy. Like I love to be her friend because her energy is just like so amazing, and she's a great person. And people are saying like, oh, she's too much or she's trying too hard. I'm like, excuse me, she's a Latina Mexican, what do you expect? I mean, we're crazy. So of course our energy is going to be like up here, of course. So yeah, and also people saying that she's probably being biased of people that are like Latina or Mexican. I don't think she is. I think she's proud of her culture and stuff to represent her culture and stuff. I don't think she's being biased at all, at least not yet. So I mean, this show is still going on, so who knows. But so far I don't think she is. I think she loves when people represent her culture. I think that's what it is. And you would too, for your own culture. Like I said before, Camila has lots of personality and stuff, and compared to like Ariana, I'm not trying to compare each other in a way, kind of am, but I love both of them are queens. But I feel like Camila was meant to do like The Voice, like a singing competition, like, or judging a singing competition, because she's so good at it, and she's like makes people feel better. Because for me, I'm a shy person when you first get to know me, but like with her energy, how crazy she is, I feel like I warm up so quickly to her, and I just love her so much because her energy is just so crazy. I just can't even right now, but I love Ariana too. Ariana's amazing. I'm just saying, if you're doing a singing competition, especially The Voice, you have to play dirty, and Ariana, she was kind of playing dirty at some points and a little shady, but like not really. And Camila, she's like, you know, she took it there. She took it like where Blake is at. That's just me. But I'm just saying, put it out there. I love both of them. No hate between any of them. But I'm just saying, I think Camila did a better job at like coaching so far than Ariana, but we will see. We will see. And also one more thing is that people, of course, hating on Camila for everything she does. Like I said before, they say she talks too much, which I just said, as the Latina Mexican in her, what do you expect? And that's how you're supposed to do anyway. Like I said before, if people were mad that she blocked Quinn, that's what you do on the show. Sorry, no one complained when Ariana blocked, who was it, John or someone like that, or Kelly, I'm not sure who she blocked, forgot who she blocked. But no one got mad at Ariana. I'm just saying. I think Camila is really good at The Voice. It's like fits her a lot. That's the end of the video. My conclusion is that I don't think that Camila is a racist, only she's a bad person. Like I said before, her energy is amazing, personality is amazing. I would love to meet her one day. I'd love to go on tour or go see one of her concerts when she's on tour. And I just love, I love to be around her and just be friends with her. But anyway, I think people just hype it up because of a mistake she made when she was a 14, 15-year-old. We all make mistakes at that age. We all learn from them. Yeah. That's pretty much it really about Camila. Let me know what you think about her. I'm trying to influence you to change how you feel about her or whatever. Maybe a little bit. But I just want people to see who she is. And I think she is a great person. I just think people just kind of understand, especially if you live in America, because non-Americans really talk bad about Camila, just Americans really. Because like I said before, she's not from America, she's not from here, so she doesn't understand a lot of what we do and our history and what to say, what not to say. You know, I mean, Americans, we're sensitive anyway, so it's whatever. That's pretty much it. I don't think there's any more I have to say about Camila. Before I forget, I'll tell you who I'm doing next month, or as a hint, I'm doing next month. Hint is, I mean, this person is legit the queen of Christmas. It's very debatable, but to me, she's a queen of Christmas, and like she comes once a year. So there's your hint. But that's pretty much it. People just like to look in the worst of people and not the best of someone, which is crazy to me, but whatever. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up so I see more of me, and hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening, wherever you are. And remember to have faith in yourself and to believe in yourself. Bye.